I know I'm late to the party on this subject, but I still wanted to cover it and talk about it anyway. I don't know what it is with me and just being late to the party on these gaming subjects, but I still want to talk about it anyway. It's the important thing. So Fortnite decided to go back to the roots and they decided to do another OG season. And this time they are going back to the roots of Chapter 2. But however, there is a massive problem that I see with this that I want to talk about. So, for those of you folks that weren't aware, I believe it was last year that I made a video talking about how Fortnite has finally gone back to the roots of the original Fortnite, back when it was back in its prime, and they did like an OG season remake to cater to like people who played the game in early access, like myself, and people who played Fortnite from like the very beginning. You know, back when Fortnite was in its prime stage and everything, and it was the top dog on the block. But now time has passed, and Epic Games decided to do it again, but this time they are doing it with Chapter 2. But as I mentioned earlier, there's a bit of a problem with this. So, before I get started with this discussion, I do want to say this. I don't mind going back to the OG roots and playing those maps again because I still think they're pretty fun. Don't get me wrong. I like visiting the classic POIs and all that, and I like playing on the classic maps that give people nostalgia. But however, the way that Epic Games has handled this, it has been done in the wrong way. And I would argue to say that they blew it with the Chapter 2 OG season. And I'm going to explain why. So, last year, when I was talking about how Fortnite decided to go back to their roots, and you think that they would try to bring back a couple of cool skins that are like redone or remade in a different way, and you think we would get like 100 tiers, right? Well, last year I made a video basically calling out Epic Games for essentially scamming people with their battle pass, and they decided to double down on what they did last year, and they decided to do it again, but with Fortnite Chapter 2 OG. So I'm going to show you a quick, as my phone goes off, I'm going to show you what the Battle Pass looks like, and we're going to discuss this along the way. So if we take a look at the Fortnite Battle Pass for the Chapter 2 OG, as we scroll through the tiers, you can see that we don't have as many tiers. We have around 40 to 50 tiers, which was the same as the last OG Battle Pass, and the cosmetics in the game are pretty similar to the Chapter 2 characters, but just done in a different way. And to make matters worse, they're charging $10 essentially for this battle pass, which is the same amount that they did for the last OG battle pass they did. That was like 50 tiers. And that was a full-blown $10. And yet Epic Games is doing the same thing with the Chapter 2 battle pass for the OG Chapter 2, and they're charging $10 for a battle pass with only 50 tiers. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I would argue to say that you're technically ripping off players this way. Because if you think about it, if you buy a battle pass for $10, you get access to all of the premium rewards too, which is the extra goodies, which gives you up to 100 tiers, and you don't have to rely on the free pass. But however, in this battle pass, the Chapter 2 OG one, you basically have half those rewards. And if you even spend $10 on this OG pass for Chapter 2, you're essentially not getting as much value because you have 50 tiers, and this battle pass should technically be worth $5 because if you're gonna give people less value in the battle pass, then make it $5. You have around like 40 or 50 tiers, why not charge $5 and give players a more fair price. It's just mind-boggling to me, man. So, besides from the battle pass, what else is there a problem with for Chapter 2 OG? The iconic locations, alright? So, the whole point of bringing OG players back, like myself, is that they want to revisit classic locations like Pleasant Park. They want to revisit Tilted Towers. They want to revisit some of the Chapter 2 places like the agency or like the underground location where the missile silo was. But instead, they decide to replace them with collaborations, which I'll talk about later in the video. But this is what the OG Chapter 2 map looks like. So if we take a look at the Chapter 2 OG map here, we can see places like the Dog Pound here have basically replaced a classic location basically known as the Agency. And I think that was the home of the Shadow faction, I believe. And if we look towards the right side of the map, where Spaghetti Grotto is, I believe that's another collaboration with, I think, Ice Spice. And that place used to be the, I think, Ghost faction, which was the, I think, abandoned missile silo, which turned into a Ghost faction base, but like I said, they basically replaced it with another collaboration area. So this is my biggest grudge I have with Epic Games. The collaborations. And I definitely have criticized Epic Games, and I've criticized Fortnite for getting out of hand with the collaborations in the past, and it's getting out of control. And as a matter of fact, this is what pisses me off as a Fortnite player the most, because like I've said already, in the past, I have definitely criticized Fortnite for focusing a lot on collaborations, and the fact that they are replacing classic locations with these new celebrity locations instead, this pisses me off as an OG player because I don't want to visit places like this. I don't want to see locations like this. I want to go back and play the actual agency. I want to go back and visit the actual missile silo that had the Ghost faction there. I don't want to visit collaboration locations like the Dog Pound where Snoop Dogg is. No disrespect to Snoop Dogg. I personally enjoy his music, but my point still stands. I don't want to visit collaboration areas. The whole point of an OG location is to go back and visit it as it was before, not to bring collaborations in there. As a matter of fact, I would argue to say that these collaborations in Fortnite have gotten even more out of control and even worse, to the point where they're now ruining the OG experience for some people like myself. Now, I get it. If you want to do collaborations because you're so desperate to cash in on the Fortnite fanboys, then fine. But at least wait until after the OG season is over to do that. But they didn't even bother to wait until after the OG season. They didn't even try to be patient on this. They decide to intentionally throw these collaborations in there because they want to cash in on the Fortnite fanboys and the Fortnite kids and all of that. Because it's just yet another attempt to squeeze more money out of people. And stuff like this makes me not even want to play Fortnite, and it pisses me off as an OG player because the whole point, like I've said several times, of an OG season is to play it as it was, not to just throw in collaborations to try and cash in on some Fortnite kids. I know I've said several times in the past that Fortnite is trying way too hard to be the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I still stand by that statement, and seeing stuff like this just keeps continuing to prove my point even more, especially when Fortnite is trying to sell us a battle pass that's half of the value, and they're trying to replace classic locations with collaboration areas that nobody wants. So, with this being said, thank you everyone for watching and for listening, and until next time, I'm talking about how Fortnite is blowing it with Chapter 2 OG, and I'll see you all later.